What's the red flag behavior that makes you realize your mental health is going downhill? When I'm really quick to cry or quick to anger. Unstable moods are my tip-off that I'm not coping well. Avoidance. When I'm real depressed, I avoid the hell out of everybody. I just don't want them to have to feel that radiating off me. Strangers, friends, lifelong friends, loved one. All the same when I'm depressed. Put me in a room alone with earplugs and darkness. It's how I work it out. I'm usually right in a couple days tops. If my mind's screaming despair, I give it despair. Face with tears of joy. When I stop brushing and flossing my teeth, when I stop taking care of my body. I get extra lazy and dissociative. Tired all the time for absolutely no reason. No real interest in anything that hasn't become a habit or life necessity. Hard to focus and be entertained. Just real spacey and checked out all the time. Staying in bed all day and not feeling like doing anything else. When I start losing motivation for all activities and people around me, and generally feeling numb 24/7. Sink full of dishes. For me it was the inability to justify why I felt so bad all the time. I was constantly angry for no reason, so sad again for no reason, and these emotions became enormous. I couldn't ignore them or get a grip or grow up or whatever you tell yourself when you're having an off day and just need to relax for a couple hours to recharge. No, this was absolutely awful, and I tried to explain why I felt the way I did to people and they were all confused, asking me why I'm so upset about something so trivial. And that made me angrier in between, making me feel like I'm distanced from reality because no one could understand me. Uncontrollable crying and not being hungry. The only thoughts in my head being negative ones. I always realize it too late. A seeing shit that's not supposed to be there. B exhausted constantly. C losing massive amounts of time. D being far too hyperactive, i.e. cleaning in the middle of the night or going on long walks, only to have the same amount of energy. Touching/picking at my face too much. I know that there is no inherent value to anything. That value is just an human construct. As is everything there ever was. The problem is when I can feel it. I work as a crisis counselor, and we go through a lot of training in this. Two things that many people ignore are the need to give things away for free and a dramatic change in appearance. Although these two factors frequently prevent suicide, people tend to blame them on seeking a change and being kind. Additionally, if a person appears to have snapped out of it, frequently, at that point, people have decided to kill themselves, and it feels good to do it. Sitting in the shower. Not wanting to listen to music, not even sad music. Sleeping a lot more/being extra tired. Getting out of bed is an event. When I decide that I don't want to do something that I had previously been really looking forward to. Reading all of these make me feel sad, I do all of these. Snoozing for the majority of the day, acting and speaking in a derogatory manner, and abusing drugs or alcohol heavily. These are some other signs. If there is no one nearby who is both mentally healthy and skilled at active, respectful listening, that to me is a huge warning sign of someone who is mentally unwell. I've worked with several children that have mental health issues. Panic attacks in children. PTSD among children who have experienced abuse or rape. Children with anxiety problems. Juvenile depression, the fact that they frequently spoke up despite being told they were being dramatic, attention-seeking, exaggerating, making something out of nothing, ungrateful for their comfortable lifestyle, following the trend, just being bitter, or simply jealous is a prevalent theme. The individuals tasked with guarding them, friends, counselors, professors, parents, and relatives, told them these things. They eventually stop speaking until they collapse and their issues become too significant for anyone to ignore. Don't take someone seriously until they start screaming or try to jump off a cliff. When I don't talk much, or go out of my way to be nice. When I don't know how I'm feeling, can't put in the effort to figure it out. I tend to fall pretty heavily into victim mentality. Alcoholic, suicidal thoughts every day for 12 years. Anxiety imploding into, fuck this, fuck that, fuck everything. That I have every reason to go take a shower and go to sleep, and nothing to stop me, but I still say meh and don't do it. This is when I'm fully incapable of the motivation, and I realize I'm popping into a depressive episode. Maladaptive daydreaming, for hours, that interferes with daily activities, to the point of being detached. And I am aware of what it's doing to me, yet I cannot stop. When I lose interests in my hobbies. I start impulse shopping or spending money frivolously. Always the first sign. A pretty common one is that you stop doing the things you enjoy. Just today I realized I had not gone for my daily walk in a week. I realized that was depression sneaking up on me again. I also feel sore all the time, and it takes a lot of effort to get anything done. Barricading myself into my room because I'm afraid someone is going to break into my house and kill me. On one hand, I quit doing the hobby that I had based my entire identity around from ages 12 to 26. On another, I bought a motorcycle and seemed to have two modes on it, stopped and whiskey throttle. Tired all the time but obsessive about work to avoid thinking about anything else. If I don't have enough work to occupy me, I start using multiple distractions at once. My anger issues get worse or I go back to binge eating. Staying in bed, avoidance, no motivation to do anything, not eat/drink, intrusive thoughts. When my stomach constantly flips with anxiety, like I'm going down a hill on a roller coaster. This whole thread apparently is a checklist for me. Drinking a fifth every night. When my panic attacks increase. This is kinda weird, please don't judge harshly, but I daydream about superpowers on purpose to know how I'm doing. Flying, I'm doing great. Breathing underwater, still feeling adventurous, not super confident but not too bad. Invisibility, oh. I'll just add that I'm way too old be daydreaming about superpowers. When you say stuff that warrants getting a message from you/Reddit Guerreri sources saying a Redditor is concerned about you. Major procrastinating. Damn, this thread reminds me of when I made a joke about not having stable mental health and I'm actually not sure LMAO. I start to struggle to brush my teeth. When I start spending money I don't have. Jokes about suicide that are seriously just jokes, guys, I'm not depressed, come on, I don't hate myself, ha ha ha. Not being able to recharge from day to day. When I feel like stress is being carried over into the next day. I'm very thankful for having a very understanding boss when it comes to mental health days. I get really detached from reality. Post compulsively in AskReddit. When the void echoes loudly after a small setback. When I took it out on my family over the smallest things when I didn't used to act this way. Several things align for me. I stop singing randomly. I stop laughing and joking around. I stop listening to my favorite music. I am exhausted but can't sleep. I am already an introvert, but I really pull away from all interactions. I feel irritated when people want any of my time, even if I'm not doing anything. I'm easily overwhelmed by sensory input. I want to eat everything but the effort is too much. These things can happen insidiously, so sometimes I don't realize I'm depressed until something comes up and I think, I really haven't sung along to anything for a while. Oh, and I'm not finding anything particularly funny, oh shit. I've been through this cycle enough that I know I need to enact my corrective measures to right the ship before it is too far down. Turning off auto-rotate on my phone. The only reason I do this is when I'm watching dumb YouTube on my bed, staying awake lazily on my bed and throwing the day away. I need to get out of bed and kickstart my day, or sleep when I want to. I feel terrible after if I do eventually get out of bed. Skipping showers. Insomnia. Anger. Lack of motivation. I pick fights over stupid things. I get really bitchy. I don't get PMS ever, but I will have similar things happen before a depression crash. Picking on myself harshly and to the point of obsession. When I catch myself speaking to my fiancé the way my brother used to speak to both of his now ex-wives. I know I'm getting either depressed or short-tempered because of anxiety. IBS that keeps me up all night. I've felt the same way for so long that I can't even tell when my mental is struggling. I can tell when I'm at the bottom though. When I start crying for absolutely no reason at all. That's when I know it's at least time to talk to someone. Even if it's a brief, hey, I'm not doing well. Once I get it out of me, I can pick myself back up. When my first thought is to cry or get angry after a situation or thought. When I take hour-long showers only BC it's been a week or I'm upset instead of actually showering for my hygiene. Eating a bunch one day and then drinking and eating next to nothing the next, only eating when I feel sick to the bone. There's more, but those are the main and most frequent ones. Dissociation and excessive rumination for me. If I wake up in the middle of the night to my kids screaming. My kids are grown-ass adults not living at home. It's my stress alert. Repeated intrusive thoughts like, is my food poisoned, or wondering where someone could hide a camera. Being scared to look out cracks in the curtains at night and seeing a face at my window.